Hello, today we are going to be giving this little lady a performance review to see how she fared after 6 months of use. There's definitely going to be some things you'll want to know about on how she's performed, so stick around until the very end to find out. The dimensions of the card holder itself I shall put on the screen here. And this card holder itself is from the 21S collection. I got it off of eBay, but it included a receipt and it was from a reputable seller who had been selling luxury items previously, so she was a reseller. I was not very happy with the seller because she wouldn't give me additional photos of the receipt when I asked for them. And I never really used my eBay profile much, so I literally didn't have very much to my eBay other than a few items that I was selling because I don't really see the point of shopping on eBay much. I buy everything I need to from other stores, so I just never end up using eBay, so I never really used my eBay account. And normally, if it was on any other platform other than eBay, people would have, relented and given you maybe more photos or information because it was eBay and people are afraid of getting scammed AF. She just wasn't very trusting and she said she wouldn't sell it to me. Changed my username and I bought it and it was the same person. No reviews, didn't ask for any photos, and she sold it to me, which to me was like she was either trying to avoid giving me photos or it was something sketchy going on there. So I was very suspicious. I figured, if this is fake, I can file a credit card dispute, which isn't the best thing to do. But I got it and I saw the receipt and it seemed authentic enough, so I just kind of let it go. There's not really that many people out there anyways, I figured, making fakes of these. So you can never be too careful, but the receipt seemed to check out and everything, so it was good. And there's 4 compartments on this card holder. There is the front compartment that you can see here with this white card. There's 2 on the back and there's 1 in the middle, as you can see. The middle I use to put more cards than I do on the front and back side because it is definitely meant to hold more cards and it's just a bigger slit in general. I only put 1 card per slot because I don't want to stretch out each of these sleeves too much for fear that my cards will slip out of them. But I do know some people like to double up on theirs, but be forewarned, it will definitely stretch it out, which may or may not be your intention. This is a really cool limited edition color and pattern from 21S where they've actually embossed the leather, which means someone, when they make this leather, presses down on this goat skin. I believe it's goat skin, and the impression is enough of amount of pressure on the leather that it creates these patterns on it. This is certainly a very beautiful color. As far as pros go, it's a very light champagne gold hardware on this, and the reason you can tell what color your hardware is if you face it into a piece of white paper and you look at the reflection of the hardware that's bouncing off the white paper, then you can see if it's like a light gold color, a silver color, and whatnot. And this is a light gold champagne hardware as it's referred to by Chanel. It's also a limited edition pattern that doesn't come out very often, and the colors itself, this pink is very seasonal. I was very happy to be able to have gotten this on eBay, though they were definitely reselling it because it was like $100 or $200 above retail. The other really nice pro about a card holder is that it really is very slim and it takes up very little room in a bag. If I were to take my classic flap here, you can see by itself, it only takes up like this much room in the bag itself. It literally takes up a quarter, if not only a third of the thickness of this small size classic flap. The nice thing is that you can stuff more cards into the middle compartment, so that's where I put the majority of my things while I have only 1 card in each of the 3 slots on the outside. On the inside slit compartment, I have 4 cards in there. So yeah, that's up to like 7 cards you could possibly do, if not more, with this card holder if you put 4 of them in the middle compartment and then 1 on the front and then 2 in the back. There is a very tight slot in each and every one of these for getting into, and I often have to do this, which is push on the sides to get it to pop open and make it more loose for me to mosey my finger in and then slip it out. Just keep in mind that if you're not a fan of tighter slots, that's kind of how this is. But you also can just slide them out with your finger. They're pretty loose as well. But sometimes if you're trying to grab stuff in the middle compartments and you have 4 cards in there like I do, you really have to squeeze the side sides to make it bigger so you can get your fingers in there and dig out whatever you need to in the middle compartment. The other con of this is that I've only had this for about 8 or 9 months or so, and I'm already starting to see some wear on the corners. I'll insert close-ups, but it is not wearing as well as I thought it would, because how I use this card holder is with the dust bag, so it shouldn't be wearing this much in my opinion. And because it's such a light pink, when the color rubs off, you can see the color of the leather underneath, because leather isn't naturally pink or any other color that they dye it. So because it's a darker leather underneath, you can see that when it starts to rub off in the corners. And the color is literally like applied to only the top layer of the skin of the leather. Leather has like a thickness to it, and so when you rub off the first layer of leather, or it peels off, whatever you prefer to think of it, it exposes the suede or the texture of the leather underneath it, which is darker. You really can't carry like how much you would with a full size wallet in here. You don't have the coin first part of it, of course, because this is a very slim card holder. It's only meant to carry cards, so you gotta downsize a little bit. Can't try to stuff like 16 cards into here, or even 10 cards. Like I said, I only carry like 7 in here, and I feel like 7 is the max. You might be able to get up to like 8 or 9 or even 10, but I would feel like no more than that, which for a lot of people is enough. But if you're carrying business cards, a license, and some other random receipts or papers in here even, that could add up real fast. Another con would be that there's a gross grain ribbon here on the inside that's lined on each of these pockets and compartments for each card. So over time, the gross grain ribbon can get dirty and can be harder to clean versus if it was a leather interior. I use it with the dust bag all the time because it adds extra capacity since I started carrying cash again. Recently, I've needed to carry cash, so it's been nice to just have the extra capacity by carrying it with the dust bag. And the dust bag protects the card holder. For the past 9 months or so, I've just been using it with the dust bag, even though I never really use the dust bag other than just to hold the card holder. Even with that, the color on the corners is still wearing off, which is why I am a little bit annoyed. So if it's already flaking off in a dust bag after 9 months, but at these corners, imagine how much wear it would actually have sustained if I had been using it without the dust bag these past 9 months. It would have been more, I'm sure. Kind of unfortunate, which is why I've been trying to keep it in the dust bag as much as I can so that I can prolong the life of this, but it definitely is something that is not wearing well too much. And even so, when I started using it too, I sprayed it with Apple Guard, which was a leather protector, keep it from accumulating stains and dirt and grime. But you know, things are meant to be used, and I don't plan on selling this item, so for me it's fine. But if you were to resell this would definitely lower the price a little bit when you're reselling it. If you love this card holder and you're thinking of buying one, please give this video a like, follow me on my Instagram linked here as well as in the description, and support me on Patreon.